This is my first post, so please forgive me if I mess up. I will try my best to stick to the facts, but this is a very emotional-driven story. So I, 26F, have been best friends with my child's father, 26M, since we were 18. At some point we started sleeping together and grew really close but never officially dated. I got pregnant at 24 and things quickly went downhill. Our first argument was about abortion. I told him months prior to getting pregnant that if anything ever happened, I'm keeping the baby. He never objected until the time came. We argued for a week over this until he finally accepted it. I have to add, he admitted he would resent me if I kept it, and I admitted I would resent him if I aborted it. From there, I feel like we argued over stupid stuff. Like we argued over a dream I had where we bought a house, and I was decorating it. He stated if we got a house, it would be his house, so I wouldn't be decorating it. Also, a time one of his friends stole from him, and I got very upset about it over the phone, and he hung up on me and blocked me. Before I was pregnant, we hung out almost every day. Talked on the phone every day. He was my best friend. Not even a month after finding out I was pregnant, he stopped calling me and stopped coming over as often. Whenever I brought it up, he would say he just works a lot and is tired. He was working 2 jobs at the time, and I understood, but it got to a point he wasn't texting me back, and we'd go a month without seeing each other. It was driving me crazy. And when we did see each other, he seemed so annoyed to be around me, and we'd continue to argue for stupid stuff. I should mention we both live with our parents. And my mother is a narcissist who doesn't respect me or anyone. My mom would continuously go behind my back to press my child's father. I told her repeatedly to stay out of our issues, but she doesn't care. I realize now I should have never vented to her. I also made the mistake of defending her. Me and Mom definitely argued over her not minding her business, but I didn't want my child's father to hate her, so I made excuses for her, which was wrong of me. I should have stood 100% on his side, and I've apologized for that. I was conflicted because what my mother was saying was true. It just wasn't her place to say any of that. Since my second doctor's appointment, I had had complications with my pregnancy. I had 2 appointments a week and was extremely anxious over the health of our child. He did come to a lot of appointments, but outside of being there for the child, he was not there for me. Most of my pregnancy was crying myself to sleep because I felt so alone. A lot of my friends disappeared when I got pregnant, and my mom was there for me. As crazy as she is, she was there when he wasn't. I felt like an incubator. If it didn't have to directly do with the child, he would ignore me. I had a very traumatic early birth that resulted in an emergency C-section and the baby in the NICU. I wasn't even allowed to hold our baby without permission from a nurse. We agreed he would stay at my place to help me the first 2 weeks we got home. On the second night, we got into an argument because I tried correcting him on how to change the baby's diaper. I even waited for my mom to go to bed before I said anything to him, but he packed his stuff and left. So I feel like I've said a lot about how I feel about him. Let me explain how I'm the a-hole. When I was maybe 7 months pregnant, the doctors told me to pack my hospital bag because the baby could come any day. I panicked because we had nothing. Not a diaper, wipe, bottle. Nothing. I tell him we need at least the necessities. He tells me he only had $100 and I lost it. He had spent my entire pregnancy ignoring me and saying it was because he had to work for the baby. So I was so angry I told him he was a not provider. I have apologized for that. Also, I quit my job at the beginning of my pregnancy. I had to give my car to my dad because he totaled his. As a result, I got a job at my mom's job. I hated it. She would start things with me on the way to work. It would ruin my entire day. She's a teacher, and I was a substitute. After I was pregnant, it was hard having to pee a lot, and I had really bad breast pain that felt like needles in the cold classroom and my morning sickness. I was just miserable. I quit my job and looked for a remote job but had no success. I gave up around 7 months when the baby was almost due. But I realized quitting my job put a lot of pressure on him, and he resented me for that too. I've apologized for that as well. I also told him that sometimes I wished he just left when he found out I was pregnant. That really hurt him. I said this before the baby was born. I felt like the stress he was causing me was affecting our unborn child. I would notice after arguments, the baby's umbilical cord pressure would be dangerously high. I shouldn't have said what I said, and I've apologized for that too. My issue is, I understand I messed up, but he makes me feel like it was all my fault. Like he doesn't think that ignoring me while pregnant and postpartum was that bad. But what I said to him was just unforgivable. I know I was mean and hard to deal with. I know I said hurtful things, and I deeply regret ever making him feel like less. But it's driving me nuts that I'm the bad guy. We both are responsible for the pregnancy, but I went through it all alone. Even postpartum. Like, our 8 years of friendship meant nothing. I feel like I was a bitch because I was ignored, hormonal, and very stressed over the baby's health. He feels like he ignored me because I was a bitch. So, we don't know who started it this cycle, but I don't even care. After over a year of being just strictly co-parents, no problems or arguing BTW, we're just now starting to work through our problems. And I feel like all the blame is being placed on me. I don't mind accountability. I have apologized and even bought gifts and done nice favors trying to show how sorry I am. But it doesn't feel mutual. I want to work this out, but how do I get him to see how bad he hurt me? Or AITAH, and this really is all my fault, and I just don't see it.